This is my BTEC Level 3 Sport Coaching and Development, Unit 22, Assignment 1, Rules, Regulations and Officiating in Sport. Pitch layout and playing surface. The length of a football pitch has to be between 100 yards, 90 metres and 130 yards, which is 120 metres. And at the width of not less than 50 yards, which is 45 metres, and not more than 100 yards, which is 90 metres. The field surface has to be a fully natural surface if the competition rules apply, so that in football the playing surface has to be green and it has to meet the rules of the FIFA Quality Programme turf regulation. Fouls and sanctions. Direct and indirect free kicks and penalty kicks can only be awarded for offences committed when the ball is in play. A foul or sanction in football can be when a player commits an offence by using excessive force, or when a player exceeds the necessary use of force and endangers the safety of the opponent during the game. As a result of this, the referee could be able to give the player who exceeds the danger of necessary force during the game a yellow card or red card, as well as an advantage if the referee needs to allow play to go on if they're in a goal scoring opportunity. The referee has authority to take disciplinary action from entering the field of play for the pre-match inspection until leaving the field of play after the match's end. So the referee has complete authority during the game, before the game and after the game. A match is played by two teams with a maximum of 11 players, and that one must be the goalkeeper. A match may not start or continue if a team has fewer than 7 players. If a team has fewer than 7 players, because one or more of the players have deliberately left the field of play, the referee is not obliged to stop play and advantage must be played. But the match must not resume after the ball has gone out of play if a team does not have the minimum number of 7 players. In the competition rules, they state that all players and substitutes must be named before the kick-off, which is in the form of a team sheet. So the two teams that are playing must have all players and substitutes named on the team sheet before kick-off, and that has to be handed into the ref. Before a team starts a match with fewer than 11 players, only the players and substitute in the named starting lineup can take part in the match in their arrival. A number of 5 substitutes can be used in any match played in an official competition, and they will be determined by FIFA, the Confederation or the National Football Association, except for men's and women's competition involving the first team of clubs in top division of Senior A international teams, where they can use a maximum of 3 substitutes. In the competition rules, they state that 1 additional substitute can be used in a game if it is in a cup match and it has gone into extra time. To replace a substitute in a match, the referee must be informed before any substitution is made, and that the player receives a referee's permission to leave the field of play. Unless they are already off the field, they must leave by the nearest point or the boundary line, unless the referee indicates that the player may leave directly immediately at the halfway line or point for safety, security or injury. In the lower leagues of football, so in non-league football and non-league football and grassroots football, they can use as many substitutes as they want, and they also have what is called a roll-on, roll-off substitutes, whereas if one player has started the game and has come off, that player is allowed to come back on to complete the rest of the game if needed so. A match lasts for 2 equal halves of 45 minutes, which may only be reduced if agreed between the referee and the 2 teams before the start of the match, and is in accordance with the competition rules. The players are entitled to an interval at half time for at least 15 minutes to have a short drinks break, which cannot exceed more than 1 minute. During this half, coaches in both teams may use this opportunity to give out tactical advice to the players. The competition rules must state that during the halftime interval, it can only be altered by the referee's permission. For example, if there is an injury in the first half and it has cost them, and the referee has stopped the clock, and the player that has gone down injured has taken 4 minutes to leave the field, then the referee will add on 4 minutes at the end of the first half, from 45 to 49 minutes, to add up for the time that was being missed for the player's injury, which is that the referee is allowed to add time during the match then the referee is also allowed to add time during the match in each half by substitution, assistant, removal of injury players, wasting time, and disciplinary sanctions, medical stoppages. That is permitted by the competition rules. A match can be abandoned if the competition or organiser rules are not met by the teams. The compulsory equipment of a player comprises the following separate items: a shirt with sleeves, shorts, socks, tape, or any material applied or worn externally must be the same colour as that part of the sock it is applied to or covers the shin guards. These must be made by a suitable material to provide reasonable protection and covered by the socks and footwear. A match can be able to go ahead as long as there is a football pitch to play on that meets the competition or organiser rules. A match cannot take place if there are no corner flags on the pitch. A player must not use equipment or anything that is dangerous. All items of jewellery, which is necklace, rings, bracelets, earrings, leather bands, and rubber bands, are forbidden and must be removed before the game. Using tape to cover jewellery is not permitted. Players must be inspected before the start of the match and substitutes before they enter the field of play. If a player is wearing or using unauthorised dangerous equipment or jewellery, the referee must order the player to remove the item or leave the field of play at the next stoppage if the player is unable or unwilling to comply. A player who refuses to comply or wears the item again must be cautioned. A goal is scored when the whole of the ball passes over the goal line between the goalpost and onto the goal bar, provided that no offence has been committed by the team scoring the goal, and if the goalkeeper throws the ball directly into the opponent's net, into the opponent's goal, a goal kick is awarded. If a referee signals a goal before the ball has passed wholly over the goal line, the play is restarted with a drop ball. The team scoring the greater number of goals is the winner. If both teams score no goals or equal number of goals, the match is drawn. When competition rules require a winning team after a drawn match or a home and away tie, the only permitted procedures to determine the winning team are away goals rule, 2 equal periods of extra time not exceeding 15 minutes each, and kicks from the penalty spot, which is a penalty shootout. Now, any of these options can be used in a game that requires a winning team after the match. So, for example, an FA Cup or Champions League fixtures. In football, there are match officials. This is the referee. A referee who has full authority to enforce the laws of the game in connection during the match. A referee can make decisions as long as he thinks that it is to the best of his ability and according to the laws and spirit of the game. For decisions of the referee that are regarding facts that are connected to the play in which the goal is scored or not, the referee enforces the laws of the game, controls the match in cooperation with other match officials, and acts as timekeeper, keeps a record of the match, and provides the appropriate authorities with a match report including information on disciplinary action and any other incidents that have occurred before, during, or after the match, and indicates the restart of play. A referee's equipment is a whistle, watch, normally 2 watches or 3, one as for the goal line technology, red and yellow cards, a note